Well, right now we're getting our first measurable snow of the season. This is kind of the moment you expect, but you hold off as long as you can, seeing all this snow here on our containers. Well, they were empty anyway. As we head to the back, it's kind of like a winter garden wonderland back here. I mean, really, this is quite beautiful. We still got a couple things growing though, and I want to show you those today. Guten! Gardening, everybody. Well, welcome to our first snowfall, slightly measurable snowfall of the season here in late November in Zone 5, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at what we still got growing in our outdoor garden. We still have a little bit of our cabbage out here. It's really interesting to see the difference. There we go. Starting to form a head. I mean, we're looking at 20s from here on out, so are we going to get much more development? I'm not really confident that we will. Probably just have to harvest it for the leaves here, but it's really interesting to see how, firm and sturdy and not wilted at all these brassicas really are compared to anything else really in the garden. And that's definitely one of the things to love about your brassicas. They're gonna last longer. And then let's take a peek right underneath the snow here. I just pulled this up. There's not much of a root system here, but this is a beautiful purple kohlrabi. You know what? Our purple kohlrabis have never really gotten as big as our green or our white kohlrabis, but that's 2.5, 3 inches in diameter right there. Another really nice addition here for a mid-November harvest. Check this out. You see our parsley here? I need to get this inside. I don't really think this is going to come back. Got a little bit of damage here, but there's still some really nice green on here, so I'm going to get this harvested. And actually, a couple of our herbs are a little bit hardier, like this sage that we have here is nice and hard. Doesn't that look good? And so this we can still bring in. We can still get some decent herbs off of here. And our green stock, our fall green stock. Most of our spinach, on the other hand, has pretty much had it. This 20-degree weather. Oh, take a look at this. Again, those herbs do a lot better in this mid-20s. There, in many cases, they're going to survive okay. So that's a pretty excellent thing. But the spinach, I mean, it likes the cool weather. But once it gets down to these 20, 25-degree temperatures, I mean, this is what it's looking like. It's all wilted and limp. So you want to get it out of the ground or out of your containers before that happens. Hey, remember the experiment we did this season in these blue containers with our certified versus our store-bought Yukon Gold potatoes? We got some critter walking across here. Oh, and it looks like I forgot to bring in, oh man, that ground, oh, there we go. The soil was frozen, but this is one of our vole deterrent devices. But remember that harvest? Hey, that was a lot of fun. Some good memories in there. Well, just like I said about those brassicas that we had out front, I mean, these are our color greens, and you can see still pretty sturdy. We're starting to see a little bit of limpness here, but these are right up by the house. So I would assume that the heat of the house is going to help them last a little bit longer as well. But I do want to get these harvested from here. That's something to keep in mind. As these colder temperatures are coming in, here I'm going to go over to my kale. Here I'm going to go over to my kale in our main garden spaces. These colder temperatures come in, these kale can handle it to some extent. If it warms up into the mid-30s, I think that's when I'm going to start harvesting. But we've had this stuff growing as late as mid-December uncovered. You can see, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those deep green colors. This stuff right now, after it's had a frost, just like our Brussels sprouts in here, that gets sweeter. It's actually better tasting. Whew, climbing over stuff. Once we've had that nice cold condition, take a look at this. You see our Brussels sprouts right there? Covered in snow. I don't really think they're going to get any bigger. They're not the biggest Brussels sprouts this year. Let me shake that off. You can see them climbing up here after we went ahead and cut all those leaves back. But you can see them the whole way along the stem. That's something we want to bring inside as well. I think I actually have right in here, shake it off, right? I have some more beautiful Brussels sprouts. Again, not that big this year. We didn't really get the production we wanted, but we're still going to bring in some decent Brussels sprouts in here. And even covered in snow. I mean, these color greens are massive right here. So we get these in. What we'll likely do for these, and this is what I've been doing, is chopping them up and blanching and freezing them. It's a really easy way to handle your color greens if you have a whole bunch that you want to save until later. It's really not a problem at all. They're still nice and healthy. And again, the taste with a lot of these brassicas, in my opinion, improves with that nice cold weather, with a nice frost. It just sweetened things up a little bit. All right, check this out. When we did our poll asking people what's a vegetable that they've planted that just keeps coming back on our community page, at least one person said borage. Take a look at that. I certainly didn't plant any borage here this year, but it came back and it looks so nice and deep green. Let's see about the taste. It's got like that cucumber taste. That is wonderful. I've said this before, we planted strawberry spinach and that stuff just will not go away. This borage is everywhere and I really, really don't mind because the taste is so good. Let us know if you've tried borage before in the comments. Let us know what you think about the taste. It really is just like the fresh cucumber taste. Hey, if I can get a fresh cucumber taste in mid to late November, I'm all about that. Oh, that's good. A little bit of snow on top. That's delicious. The fruit of early summer, our gooseberry, and then our currants that are in here, completely barren at this point, but you can see, look at this. You see the buds that are gonna form for next season when it all comes back to life again. Oh, that's so exciting. Well, check this out. We've got a couple tomatoes on here. The only reason we'd want anything to do with these tomatoes now is this is the rare giant crimson tomato. We planted here along the side, so a couple of these should have some decent seeds in there, and that's something we want to collect, the seeds from these, since it's a pretty rare tomato. And we're hoping to put a couple of those, we've got a couple more tomatoes down in here, but we're hoping to put a couple of those in our upcoming seed share. Hey, if you're excited for year 2 of our seed share, let us know in the comments. And if you took part in year 1, and there were about 100 people we mailed out to in year 1, and we're really hoping to grow that even more this year. If you're excited for that, let us know. If you took part in year 1 and you had some results that you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear about it. If you have some pictures, we'd love to see that too. I gotta spend a little bit of time like I did last year wrapping these trees. Now I don't have the same exact ability to wrap some of these trees because we used a lot of our larger tomato cages for our vertical gardens, but I need to get these apple trees, these columnar apple trees wrapped, and our peach tree wrapped right here, because the last thing that I want to have happen is more damage to this tree. And that's something that you can still see effects of from previous years. Check this out. This branch, for example, you can still see the damage. It's kind of dark now, but you can see the damage done by the squirrels 2 years ago. And the same thing down here. All of this was damaged, this offshoot here, by the rabbits 2 years ago. And so last year we didn't have any of that damage, so we want to take care of that. And I'm going to bring these strawberries. These are our vertical garden strawberries. Last year we didn't quite get the result we wanted from winterizing out here. Even though we wrapped it, it just really wasn't what we wanted. So I'm going to bring this up close to the house. Just transport it up close to the house so it can keep the warmth. Even though we wrap it, we can keep the warmth of the house right by it. So keep things a little bit warmer this season. And check this out. We got a little bit of kale, a little bit of collard greens here, growing in this vertical bed, this DIY vertical bed. And we've grown some pretty cool stuff in there. I really like that. All right, whether you can guess it or not, my hands right now are absolutely freezing. And you're probably wondering, what are you doing out there in a t-shirt? We gotta do what you gotta do. Check this out. We got some kohlrabi in here again. Some of our purple kohlrabi growing in containers here on our driveway. You know what, as much as I want to go ahead and pull these out, because there's 3 or 4 in here, I am going to wait just a little bit because I don't want to pull all this stuff out right now. More herbs, holding off, not minding this little bit of snow. Isn't that magical? Well, our reality is that we don't have a lot growing outdoors right now, but we are moving everything that we can indoors. We are going to be growing a whole bunch indoors this season. We've got some great experiments planned for you. I'm excited. I'm just excited to continue the season. And I know some of you, because I've seen the comments, you're getting ready to do some indoor gardening this season, and I can't wait to have you join us. I hope you'll stay tuned for that content because we've got a lot more growing to do. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, don't forget to give us a like, leave us a comment, remember to share and subscribe. And most importantly, remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.